Hi, I'm Joseph.
I'm Alex.
I'm Galen.
Today we're gonna watch 3 scenes from 3 of my favorite animes, and we're gonna enjoy it together, but more importantly, I'm gonna share how these 3 scenes impacted me so much and how it has influenced the entire way I manage the firm. Let's go. American streetball is so domineering, so powerful.
So what's the context here, Joseph?
Oh, okay.
Do we need anything?
So this is actually the end of the entire series, right? We already watched through the entire anime, and then suddenly these people, these Americans, come out and they just completely disrespect the Japanese basketball team. Now this coach is like, we want a revenge. We will bring out our best to fight you. And then these guys come out and just completely belittles them, calling them monkeys. Like, bring your best, whoever, right? So it sets up the bad guys. And it's the first time you ever see them in this entire anime series, right? And then now, this scene, this moment, I just geeked out right here, what you're seeing right now. The guys with the different color hairs, these were the legendary generation of miracle basketball players. And now they are gonna fight these Americans in basketball. So the reason why that scene gives everybody the goosebumps was because the entire anime series is basically them fighting against each of the generation of miracles. And then now, in this last arc of the entire series, they were all enemies before. Now they all come back together. They are on the same team. The generation of miracles, again, that was disbanded, but now they unite. And also the main character and the new protagonist, they join together to fight these evil Americans that come and disrespect the Japanese basketball, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously they do it, and then they all use their super strong talents, and then they win. The idea of splitting up your team, growing them individually so that they become super strong, and then in a time of crisis, pulling everybody together again to face that nemesis. I love that storyline. I love that arc. I actually designed the firm that way. We keep on experimenting, we keep on separating, and we keep on growing.
Yeah.
At any moment, when there is a time of crisis, when there is a case that is so overwhelming, that is so difficult, everybody can easily come together, work on it, and conquer it.
You can really see that. You can really see how you empower every manager, every department to do some research, to grow, to learn new cases. It really shows, because sometimes one department is overwhelmed with the case, and you pull out from different other departments to come and help.
I've worked with so many other lawyers and been at so many different firms. It is not uncommon to see somebody take years and years and years before they get to a certain level to have an opportunity to do this. Whereas I'm very, very confident in our team, so that even if somebody doesn't know how to do a case and it seems so hard, so incredible, and I can easily handle it, give it to somebody who's brand new at it, and I am 100% confident that we can win it. And they themselves don't believe they could do it. But because of the system that we built out, I know that they can do it. We've empowered them to do it, and they're able to win things that they didn't believe was possible themselves. And once they do that once, twice, 3 times, then their confidence grows, their knowledge grows, and any other challenge that comes, they can handle it as well. From my perspective, I'm constantly encouraging all the other managers, have more faith on each other, have more faith on yourself, because you can. You know, it just takes somebody to believe in you.
そいつの能力を教えれば、お前の命は保証する。10秒以内に答えろ。あと8秒。
So funny.
Remember, the octopus is the bad guy.
いかによ生まれたかったんだ。特によ 幽霊以下にリスペクトでよ。
あと2秒。
仲間は俺め。
ああ、目で分かったよ。
期待するぜ。次こそイカに生まれるようにな。
And now, supposedly, he dies. But
なんで。
かっこいいから違う形で会えてたら連れになれたなって思うくらいな。
so good. The octopus is a bad guy. They fought. The main character won. The bad guy in this scene did not betray his own ally.
Yeah.
And later on in this anime series, he becomes a good guy. That is obviously very touching. How does that relate to a firm? A lot of business owners think very one-track minded. They only want people in their own firm that will be there forever, that will grow with them forever. And if they leave, it is a betrayal. But something that I learned from anime and from the scene specifically is that depending on the circumstance, that's what matters. Somebody is your enemy in one instance, maybe they work at a different firm, but under different circumstances, you guys could have been friends. Under different circumstances, they could have worked at your firm. But are you mad at them? Do you dislike them just because of life and circumstances? Vice versa. Somebody is at your firm and then they leave and they join another firm. Does that mean it's the ultimate betrayal? Again, change in circumstances. They moved, something happens. It's okay. The most important thing, in my opinion, is, are you a cool guy? Are we friends? Are we close? Because I've seen so many times, we build up the internship, we train the interns, and then they go out into the world. Yeah. And a lot of them end up coming back in one way or another, and as an employee, or they go work for the US government, USCIS, CBP, the consulate, but they remember us because we poured so much into them. And then they leave, and then they help us back in return in different ways. I think I've mentored over 200 plus interns and written so many letter recs for them to get to different law schools. And then other people at other firms, are they your enemy just because you guys had a conflict once? No, you still respect them as long as they're a cool guy, because they will remember you and then they could pass cases to you. We've passed so many cases to certain different firms, and so many firms have passed cases to us, even though we're not on the quote unquote same team. I don't think when you run a firm, you should have the mentality that every person you hire needs to be loyal to you and needs to stay with you forever and ever. It should be, this is our journey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're trying to do. You can help us, we can help you. And then if we need to split paths, you go on your own path and we continue. It's mutually beneficial. And that's how I structure every single engagement with every single intern and employee. And I think this scene really resembles what I'm talking about.
That's very interesting, because you do share that with everyone at the firm as well. Like no one is required to stay here forever.
Right.
You always say, and you told me the same thing when we hired me, is like, you can commit for just 1 year and see. And then afterwards, if you want to stay longer and use us as a stepping stone. And I'm sure this speech, you gave it to me, you gave it to a lot of other people. And so it's very clear, it's transparent.
And like removing the coercion, because it's like, if you're staying because you're afraid, then that's not like, for one, it's not what you want as a person, but it's also not what you want as an employee, as like an employer, because that's not, the happy employee is the productive employee. So you don't want them to just be like dragging their feet because they don't want to get yelled at if they say, hey, I'm leaving. So yeah, I think that is like very powerful.
So the third anime is Naruto.
Get any context we need.
Any context, he is now one of the Kages that represents his tribe. And now all 5 Kages, with the lead, basically the presidents of the ninja world, are gathering together to decide whether or not to go and do a really important mission, but nobody else wants to. And he is trying to champion that this is the right thing to do. And now he's getting ridiculed because he's the youngest, and he has one moment that he gets to ask.
I'll answer any question you have. Gonzo?
Say again, old man!
Don't do it, Kankuro. He's still Tsuchikage. He's a village leader.
Hold on. Did she say still a leader?
Ignore him.
Then, let me ask you this.
Sure. Go ahead, no holds barred. Ask away.
When did all of you forsake yourselves?
What?
What a pure-hearted child.
So it's so powerful because they are the leaders. And if you think about it in context of our world, think of the United Nations, think of all the presidents, and then there's a crisis happening and they choose to do nothing. And they're just bickering over bureaucratic logistics, but nobody is actually helping the dire situation that needs to be solved. And each of them could solve it, but they're just passing the buck, passing the blame. You do it, you do it, you do it.
Okay, so I can definitely see how that would apply. So my guess, the takeaway, right, is as the business owner, you can't just hide in your ivory tower, let all the value come to you. You can't just like sit and do nothing and let the people under you do the work. You have to like put in the work yourself. Is that similar to yours or not at all?
No, very, very close. Very, very close. Any guesses?
I mean, I was thinking about the same thing. You being our leader, being the managing partner, it would be easy for you to step back and let us do the work. But you always hear, 5 days a week, 8 a.m. sharp. You always hear. That's just the simple thing. As a good leader, and you've been at the bottom, now you're at the top, but you're still acting like you're at the bottom, second guessing yourself, always like asking for advice left and right. It's not just your word and your decision. You're always asking everyone, what do you think? It's for the firm, just not me. It's not just for me, it's for the firm. Everyone's impacted. And I've heard that many times since I started, and I always find it like amazing that with the amount of power that you have, you don't just use it for yourself. I think that's...
Very close. Yeah, all of these are true. But the reason why this scene heavily impacts me is because of how easy it is to drift into the background. It's so easy to say, that's a problem, let somebody else deal with it. That's a problem, let somebody... I am too important. And there are a lot of excuses, and they're not just excuses, there are legitimate reasons. Right. But when there is a crisis, for you as the leader to jump head in and deal with it yourself, that is not common. And the longer you've been a leader, the less you end up doing it, the less you do that, the more you delegate, to the point where eventually you forget how to even dive in and help. I don't want to lose that muscle. I don't want to lose that capability, and I don't want to lose that heart. That when there is a crisis, I'm able to jump head in and directly solve it and bring my team with me to solve it. And just because I do that, I want a firm that can allow me to do that, that the whole firm can operate fine without me behind a big table making decisions. If I have to be stuck at a table making all the decisions, and if I leave the table, nobody else could be at the table, and that's why I can never leave, then that's a shackle on the organizations and for myself. I'm one of the most important and most capable people at the firm, and if there is a crisis that requires me to be at the front lines, and I cannot go, that doesn't speak well for the firm, and that actually cripples the firm. The fact that I can go and I can do it, and the rest of the firm can still thrive without me, that's a strong organization. I don't want to forget that original desire to do the right thing, why we became lawyers, to help people, to help individuals, and to help companies to solve problems. I want to be able to still do that, and I don't want to hide behind excuses. And that's it. If you have any questions or comments about these animes, feel free to let us know. Bye.